What's the best looking turntable of 2023? Well, today we find out. And the results, they're not just determined by me, they were voted on by you.
This episode is brought to you by T+A, makers of the Solitaire P headphones. Click the link in the show notes for more information.
We eat first with our eyes. Roman intellectual and gourmand Apicius said that, and he said it over 2,000 years ago. And it's a notion that I think could be applied to almost anything that we place in our homes and get hands-on with. And when it comes to hi-fi, I flatly refuse to board the "it's only the sound that matters" thought train. Because the last time I saw those words written down underneath a photo of a hi-fi system, the hi-fi system looked like it had been attacked by wolves. Essentially, aesthetics matter hugely in the world of audio hardware, and no more so than with a turntable. Because a turntable occupies the top shelf of a hi-fi rack, or it takes pride of place on the sideboard. It cannot be tucked away out of sight. Now, at the end of 2022, we ran a YouTube poll to determine the best looking turntable of that year. And that was Audio-Technica's AT-LP 2022. Now, this year we've done the same, and I think 2023 brought an even greater number of terrific looking turntables to market. So putting together a short list of 4 contenders, that's the maximum number permitted by YouTube's picture poll mechanism. That was sort of my privilege, but Darko.Audio patrons also had significant input, and it wasn't easy actually to filter it down to just 4. But I got a short list of 4, and I put the poll up on YouTube about a month ago, and I only ran it for like 24 hours. Sorry, I had to pause the video there because a motorbike pulled up, you probably heard it, and then a dude started shouting in the street. That's one thing about living in Portugal, is that the relationship to noise here is very different to Germany. There is a much higher tolerance, I think, amongst Portuguese people for external noise, which actually works well for me because I can really crank this hi-fi system and nobody complains. Anyway, back to the best looking turntable of 2023. Idealists should take heed here because 2 of the 4 turntables that follow are belt drive and 2 are direct drive. So those idealists need to put down their books of dogma because today we are only concerned with looks. So here we go. In 4th place, Pro-Ject's Dark Side of the Moon turntable. Now last year, the Austrian manufacturer did Metallica. This year, they've done Pink Floyd. But I don't think the audiophile world needs any more Pink Floyd. And that's why I didn't cover Pro-Ject's Dark Side of the Moon turntable when it was formally announced in the autumn. However, I did catch an early prototype in Munich at the high-end show, and I was really impressed by the understated interpretation of Storm Thorgerson's cover art. And mercifully, just like Thorgerson, Pro-Ject didn't put the artist's name in plain view, which I think is something that really detracted from Pro-Ject's Beatles and Stones turntables, because we already know who the artist is. We bought the turntable, let the album art speak for itself. And thankfully, this Dark Side of the Moon turntable does exactly that. So I think Pro-Ject's Dark Side of the Moon deck is an objet d'art, I'm not very good at French sometimes, which also spins records. And it's why this player, I think, gets the nod over Pro-Ject's other looker in 2023, the Perspective Final Edition. Okay, in 3rd place, Denon's catchily named DP-3000NE. Now Denon doesn't announce too many new turntables, so when it does, they're a bit more of an event than with other manufacturers. And the DP-3000NE is a new flagship model from this Japanese manufacturer. It's a direct drive design that features a 9-inch S-bend tone arm with a detachable headshell. But look at the plinth, it's a beast. And the whole thing inside is built around a very solid wooden structure. And then, as you can see on the outside, it's wrapped in a wood veneer. And the supporting feet that sit underneath the table, they are no Slim Jims either. This is a turntable, I think, for maximalists. In second place, Rega's Naia. And this one, I think, is for the minimalists among you. Now, if you've seen a planar 8 or a planar 10, you've pretty much seen the Naia. Now this is Rega's new flagship turntable, one that does come with flagship pricing, not like the Denon. And it also adopts the same low mass skeletal design as its more affordable brethren. And that switchback frame is made from carbon fiber and something that Rega call foam core. The tone arm is a single piece of titanium. The platter is ceramic. The bearing on which the platter turns is also ceramic. And the outboard power supply that drives the triple belt drive system is tuned to each turntable at the factory. So seen from purely an aesthetic perspective, the Naia's sleek and slender plinth is as close as a turntable, I think, can get to Futurify. And the best looking turntable of 2023 is the 140th anniversary edition of Thorens TD-124DD. Now this is a tweaked version of 2020's standard TD-124DD, which was a direct drive rework of the 1950s original, which many of you will remember as being an idler drive. And bad news, I'm afraid, because the 140th anniversary edition is limited to 140 pieces, and I believe they're already sold out. So what's new? Well, a 5mm layer of copper has been added to the existing aluminium platter, and I asked Thorens directly about this. I was like, what about the weight? And they told me that the motor and the central bearing that turns that platter have been over-engineered to more than cope with the extra weight of all that copper. And the anniversary edition of the TD-124DD also wears a high-gloss wood veneer skirt on its outside, but I think the star of this show for turntable nerds is Autofon's SPU 124MC pickup that comes in a, wait for it, in a Bakelite housing. That for me is a bit of a wow. It's a really nice touch. So this turntable might look like something from 70 years ago. I think that's really part of its charm and why people have voted it as the best looking turntable of 2023. But please note that it has been designed with all the engineering prowess of the modern day, and German engineering no less. So there we have it. A bit of a lighter video to round out 2023. Thanks for your support this year, and I'll see you next year. So yeah, Happy New Year, everybody.